Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Music Scene Investigation. Rich Wildman here with you. Glad you're along with us today. Got a lot of big things going on this week to let you know about. Before we get into reviewing music, I want to remind everybody that this Wednesday, the 11th of July, we've got our first hit list coming up. If you're not familiar with what hit list is, I'll tell you very quickly. We'll take our Song of the Week winners from the month of June and pit them against each other. The only place where it's a contest is hit list, and we'll find a band of the month who will win some great prizes from our partners and sponsors, Live to Play Network, Sound Pro Live, Butterflies Radio, Indie Music Bus. And we're really looking forward to getting that off the ground with you. So we hope you tune in then. That's going to be this Wednesday on MSI Radio at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:30 p.m. GMT. Hope you tune in for that. Now, MSI, what Music Scene Investigation is a not a contest. It's a beauty pageant, so to say. It's actually where we get together and we'll take and review indie artist music. Any indie artist from around the world is eligible to participate. All you have to do is go to musicsceneinvestigation.com and hit that Submit a Song page at the top of the screen. You can sign up there, submit your music. We ask that it be radio-friendly and less than 5 minutes in length. Every week we'll take 3 of those randomly and place them before our panel, who will give them a great review, an in-depth review that you can use. It's nothing like you see or read about in the trade magazines or in Rolling Stone or any place like that. These are technical reviews that you'll be able to use to make your music better. Now, to do that, we have a panelist, a panel of industry experts from around the scene. We have 2 in-house panelists, and every week we bring together a guest panelist to sit with them and offer their interpretation and advice and review for your music. Let's meet our in-house panelists right now. Today, joining us again from London, England, is Ian Husbands. Ian, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How are we all?
Doing very well. Doing very well. So what have you been up to the last 2 week?
Has it been 2 centuries since we last got together?
Well,
Man,
considering the shirt you're wearing, I have to wonder.
You like the shirt, do you?
You're apparently on the team.
On the team, that's right. You know, we're liking the shirt. But no, I've had gigs, and yeah, lots going on really. It's I've just done 3 nights in a row, which has been a lot of fun with my band From the Ashes and with the jam night as well. So yeah, lots going on.
You're keeping busy, and I understand there's a cloud over your head as we speak.
It's actually moving past now, but it was the biggest, baddest, meanest black cloud you've ever seen in the sky. Looks like it's slowly moving onwards now.
That's what you get for mocking the Vatican.
You reckon that was the result? Yeah?
I'm thinking so.
No lightning came though.
Well, you're lucky. If on the back, what does it say on the back of the shirt? Does it say God or Jesus or No. If that would have been the case, you might have gotten the lightning.
No, the back of the shirt's blank. It's just the front for effect, you know.
I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Don't get God's name put on the back of it.
Well, I would, Ian. Anyway, I've got some witness statement results from last week.
Yes, let's hear those.
And basically, song 2 was the audience favourite. It came top in songwriting, performance, and mix and production.
So song number 2 from last week was indeed the same song that the panel picked as the song of the week, which was Rise Up by Ann Kosian.
Indeed. I mean, so everyone agrees, which is nice that we're getting it right.
I agree with you. Thanks a lot, Ian. Let's meet our next guest, or next in-house panelist. That's Tom Chianti, recording engineer extraordinaire. Tom, how are you?
I am extraordinaire.
That's what I've heard. Your people told me I should read that copy, so I did.
Well, it's not copy, it's truth. If you wanted copy, it would say extraordinarily extraordinaire.
Oh, okay. Well, I did scratch that part out. So how you been, Tom? Everything going well?
I've been doing good.
I've heard.
I didn't.
I've heard rumors that you did not have to go to the hospital this week.
Yes, I've actually woken up every morning and in my own bed.
That's a plus.
Well, it's always a surprise. You never know.
If you're a bachelor, it's not always a plus. Let's face it.
Well, yeah, good point.
Well,
but
at least I know I won't wake up alone.
Tom's not a bachelor, so he's got every right to want to wake up in his own bed. Thank you, Tom. Glad you're here as well.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here as always to review, purview, and indicate and champion the music of the industry.
Oh, come on, face it. You're just glad to be upright and vertical and moving.
Okay. It's a plus.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Our guest panelist today has been with us before. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a number of years, and I'm always happy to see him. Unfortunately, he looks a lot better than I do. So welcome once again, Mr. Ken Scott, to the broadcast. Ken, glad to have you back, man.
What? What's that? Huh? I can't hear.
You're younger than I am, and you're deaf. What's up with that?
I'm the guy that they have on whenever they want an excuse to take a Valium because of all the technical problems before the show. And yeah, glad to be here to cause you guys plenty of heartache leading up to a show. Well, always last second to get the problem solved.
You know, the greatest thing about it, Ken, is it's always your problem, not our problem. You're the one who needs the Valium, not us.
Well,
maybe
yes,
he's already taken the Valium.
Now, let's see here. I got it right here. You probably can't see it, but I got it ready just in case.
So, Ken, how you been since last we talked? The last we spoke, you had mentioned you were getting ready to do to work on a brand new show over on the National Geographic Channel called Chasing UFOs, and that's since started to air. How things going over there?
Well, I haven't actually seen the ratings for the show myself, but the girl who's the star of the show, I don't know if any of you have seen it. Yeah, wouldn't blame you if you haven't, but you have?
Yes, I have, actually.
I know Alana has seen it. She's a big fan of those UFO shows.
I like UFO shows, the really good ones. This one is an awful lot like the Finding Bigfoot show. It's formatted very similarly. Anyway, the star of the show,
Hunter.
What's her name?
Don't they call her Hunter or something like that?
Wait a minute. Now, see, I was going to say her name, and you made me forget what it is now. It's Ryder.
Ryder, that's right, Ryder.
Erin Ryder, yeah. Anyway, I've been emailing her back and forth about the show, and apparently the first episode, or the first two episodes, because they did two in one night, did extremely well. We haven't seen the numbers yet for this past Friday, but so far so good. And of course, I think she's a big part of it. You put an attractive woman in the mix, and I don't know why, it just seems to people.
It draws more guys to the show anyway. Yeah.
Does she want to come on MSI?
I don't. Sure, I'll ask her.
Wait, does this mean we're replaceable?
Yes, Tommy, it does, as a matter of fact. Now, Ken, I got to tell you, please relay to Ryder a complaint from me about the show.
All right.
They don't have your voice in it nearly enough.
Well, I've already brought that to their attention. Unlike Finding UFO, I'm only doing the big dramatic introduction to this show. And it's like I don't feel like I'm earning my money. It's I need to be featured more prominently, so they're working on it.
I think what they need to do now, this may work out good and or bad depending on how you play it. Have them come and shoot an episode there where you're at in Indiana. You can make up these elaborate stories about being, abducted or seeing UFOs and stuff like that. They can chase them to ground. And then, it'll be a great time, a lot of fun had by all. And if you want, we'll fly Tommy in spandex so he can play the part of the alien.
I think
Who says I need spandex?
I think we should just spread a rumor saying that Ken Scott is actually an alien. Thus the irony in using him to do the voiceover work.
you know, that would be okay. We tried that with the Bigfoot, and that actually went over a little. People believe that one. The alien, I'm not so sure. As long as you don't attach illegal to it, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
There you are. So what else? I know that shows like this are a lot of fun. I mean, getting to the heart of these mysteries. You and I used to have conversations about these kinds of things all the time when we worked in radio, and a lot of fun we had. But how do these guys actually take this stuff seriously when they're out there doing these investigations, or is it a lot of tongue-in-cheek? I mean, do you know?
Well, look, from all I know is just from the conversations I have, and just like anybody else, just viewing them on TV and just reading their body language. It's my opinion that this particular show, that James Fox, which I think is a great name for a guy, Jamie Foxx, and Aaron Ryder, both are believers.
Okay.
Or as she likes to put, a scaliever, which I hate that term, a skeptical believer. How can you be a skeptical believer? It doesn't even make sense. But anyway, that's what she says she is. But the other guy, Ben, I think he's a legitimate skeptic. I like Ben a lot. He's the one who keeps him honest. If you saw Friday night's show, he's the one who actually put up the fake alien head in the window at the end of the show.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
I saw that show, yeah, and it was done tongue-in-cheek, and it looked very cheeky.
Yeah.
And but it vaguely resembles me on a good night.
All right. Now,
yeah.
so do you have anything new that you've been working on in secret you can tell us about? Something that you don't have an NDA on, so you can spill the beans?
Absolutely, I'll do that. But I wanted to show my British friend something here. Let's see here.
Does that mean,
got the TARDIS.
Does that mean you're the new
TARDIS?
Doctor? Are you going to be the new Doctor?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger inside.
Okay,
So
I
I've
just want to show
heard.
you.
Getting through the door's a bitch.
My son gave that to me for Father's Day here a few weeks ago, and it was probably the best Father's Day gift I've ever gotten. You know, I've shown it to everybody, every client who's come in through the door, and they look at it and they say, "Oh, what is that? A police box?" They don't know what it is, but that's okay.
So the news is that you're the new Doctor.
Oh my goodness, that would be a dream come true. But no, I couldn't do a British accent anyway, and I know you don't have to do. I guess Irish, Scottish, or British, I think, are all acceptable to be the Doctor, but I don't think an American Doctor would work. But it'd be great. That's not the news, though. Actually, not to waste too much more of your time, because I guess this is a music show, right?
I've heard that.
Yeah, the latest cool thing for me is being featured in my first ever movie, which is really cool. Yeah, it's an independent film. It's not been released yet. It's actually going through the film festival thing now. They're trying to get it into Tribeca, New York, the Toronto Film Festival. I forget some of the big independent film festivals to get somebody interested to buy it. The stars in the movie are James Franco, Catherine Keener, David Strathairn, I think is how you say his name, David Strathairn, and Alan Cumming are the big stars in the movie, and me, of course. In the credits at the end of the movie, I come up right after Alan Cumming, which is really cool. That was probably the coolest part of the movie for me.
Well, heck yeah.
But yeah, and just, again, not to take too much time, but to explain my part in the movie.
Please do.
The little bit about the movie. The movie, again, it's an independent movie. It's made by the director, Carter. He's one of these guys that goes by a single name, Carter. Good friends with James Franco. He's actually kind of a performance artist. I'm not really sure what you call him. He does a lot of art displays that have a lot of like video and different elements involved. Excuse me. But anyway, it's his first, he's done short films before, but this is his first feature-length film to do. And anyway, it's about a group of people who have their own version, their own individual mental problems. And I'm trying to be careful the way I say that. One of the characters' mental problem is that they are gay. And of course, you know, in today's society, we don't understand that to be a problem.
Right.
But the way this movie is set, it's kind of a nebulous setting. You're not really sure what decade it's set in, but the one thing that you're pretty sure about is that the people in the movie don't consider that to be a normal thing. So they all have what they consider their own maladies, and that's the name of the movie, is Maladies. James Franco's character plays a soap opera actor who is retired. And the reason he's retired, we speculate, is because he started getting a little schizophrenic and crazy, and they had to pretty much let him go. He didn't really retire. They fired him. But he hears voices. And the voice he hears in the movie is my voice. I'm the voice he hears all the way through the movie. So I'm constantly talking to James Franco through this entire movie.
I could see how that would make someone go a little schizo.
It was a blast.
I mean, think about it, Ken. I worked with you for a number of years, and look at me now.
Well, to be fair, you don't look a day older. You look exactly the same now as you did then, as far as I can tell.
Well, you're too kind. You're too kind. So.
Then again, I've worked with Rich about 2 years.
He looks the same as he does when he was born. He came out bald and with a goat.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. All right, before I get any more abuse from the in-house peanut factory, I think...
I wonder what you're going to say then.
Our in-house peanut factory, yeah. I do want to...
show.
I do want to get on with why we're here and do what we're here for. So why don't we just do that right now? So if you guys will go ahead and take a listen to track number 1, I will also make sure our audience hears it as well. Everybody, here is today's opening track on Music Scene Investigation. This is track number 1.
We fought the war, we stole the cage.
there you have song number 1 on today's MSI. Let's go to Ian, find out what he thought. Ian, what did you think, track number 1 today?
Yeah, I kind of like this. It's kind of, for me, had a sort of George Harrison Electric Light Orchestra feel about it. Some really sort of strong, catchy melodies going on there, especially in the chorus. Lyrics were good, sort of storytelling, a bit like the Beatles. But I did find the vocals, first of all, I was going to say they were buried in the mix, but I think they're inconsistently mixed. I think to start with, they're quite quiet and do get lost, and they pick up as the song progresses. And I think they also have too much reverb and too much effect on that vocal. Wanted to hear him a bit plainer. But the vocalist was strong, and his performance was good as well. In fact, the performances across the track were very, very good. Couldn't really hear the bass. It was there, but didn't really stand out as doing too much. And I'm going to go against something that I would normally say. I love heavy guitars. But I felt for this track, they were too heavy. There was lots of sing-along vocals in there. I wanted to hear them. And them heavy guitars at times were just overpowering that vocal. And they were just too much. I'd have backed that overdrive off and a little bit cleaner, a little bit more bluesy rather than rocking. And I really would have loved to have heard strings instead of those synths at the end. I liked the synths. I felt they could have been brought in a little bit sooner to give the track a bit more dynamic and just a bit more backing. And again, without those guitars, they would have worked a bit better. But the outro just seemed to go on and on, didn't really go anywhere. The synths were a bit too loud, a bit repetitive. But what I would have loved to hear was a string break, a bit like Mr. Blue Sky from that track there. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's a well thought out track. It's a well written track. Does need work on the mix, and check the instrumentation. Are them guitars really necessary? Can you do something more with them synths? Something like that.
All right, Ian, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Tom Chianti, your thoughts on track number 1?
Oddly enough, I agree with a lot of what Ian said. The vocal overall, the doubling effect was a little bit more distracting, a little too dated, cheap trick. Like they said in the chat, as soon as they said it, and as Ian said, ELO, back in the 80s, early 90s, or late 80s. The bass, they must have recorded this when the bass player was out on break. It was non-discernible. You just heard some bottom end, I thought, coming from the guitars. The heavy guitars could have been mixed better. Overall, as Ian said, it's an interesting track. It was easy to listen to. The vocalist did give a strong performance, and I liked it. It's listenable, but again, maybe take it back in, try an alternative type of mix, a little drier all around. The musical interlude at the end, I don't think was needed. They could have gone right into the outro. And that feedback guitar that was hanging out over the guitar finger picking part was a little annoying, a little distracting to me. I would have wished that to died out much sooner. But overall, a good track, a nice melody, nice hook, and I just think a more up-to-date mix would do this well.
All right, Tom. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And let's go over to the voice in my head, Mr. Ken Scott, that voice guy, find out what he thought. Ken?
The voice that drives you all nuts. Yeah. Well, I agree with both of these gentlemen. And Tom and Ian as well. I'm sorry. In 1985, this would have been, I think it could have been a hit. That was the first thing I thought. It's like, wow, this, and of course I'm a child of the 80s myself, so it's like, to me, I can imagine this being on my mixtape with Bryan Adams and Bon Jovi as I head down in the convertible down to Fort Lauderdale at spring break, Excuse me.
Ken, was that the 1880s or the 1980s?
Now, I know I've got some white hair, but come on. 1980s.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. 1880s. Was Fort Lauderdale even there? I don't know. Anyway, no, I felt ELO too. I was a little reluctant to say it, and then of course Ian said it right away, and it's like, yeah, I thought I felt some ELO. I even felt a little Chicago in some of the vocals. I love the vocals, especially when it would come in really strong. It reminded me a lot of some of my favorite Chicago tunes. But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was, again, because my favorite music is from the 80s, from pop, in you know, whatever that makes me. I like pop music from the 80s. I really enjoyed this a lot.
All right, Ken, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And for the record, Ken is a child of the 80s. I can vouch for him. He's only he's younger than I am. Okay, so
yeah.
All right. Let me take and introduce that track to everybody. The name of the song is Mr. Gunn by a group called Sleftwich. I believe that's actually Scott Leftwich. And we appreciate their sending that track in to us here at Music Scene Investigation. All right, gentlemen, it is time to head over to track number 2 for today's broadcast. So I'll let you start that one up, and we'll get it on for everyone else. Here is track number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation.
Can I make you a drink you like? Take a sip, make sure it's right. I could add a splash of this. Perhaps some ice would make it chill. Can I take your coat and hang it so there's no wrinkles when you go? Don't be foolish when you say you're imposing in any way. And when can I just see you next? Please don't treat me like all the rest. I'm normal, dear, and soon you'll see. I'll be a friend, and more you need a second chance to impress on me. So leave your coat hanging there and answer me. Can you stay? Maybe that was a little rude. I shouldn't corner you near your shoes. I thought maybe I'd change your mind. Perhaps you'd see I'm actually a decent guy. And when can I just see you next? Please don't treat me like all the rest. I'm normal, dear, and soon you will see. I'll be a friend, and more you need a second chance to impress on me. So leave your coat hanging there and answer me. Can you stay? 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 Can you stay?
And there you have track number 2 on today's MSI. And yeah, I may be dating myself, that's for sure. Tommy, what did you think of track number 2?
Well, first off, it's recorded well, and there was a nice spread of the background instruments. The vocals stood out, but there was some harmonies there that I thought could have been brought up more. And there's definitely places for more harmonies. A brief little acoustic guitar solo. It's a simple song. The lyrics are a little strange. Something about I shouldn't corner you by your shoes. Just took me a little by surprise, but also the staccato way of the delivery. I can't think of this artist's name. I think it's Chris Columbus from the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay, the guy who wrote this or the guy who wrote something else similar?
No, another artist who had this type of singing, very short and high-end, almost head voice type of singing.
Okay.
But it was sweet. It was endearing, and but not memorable.
Yeah. In the chat room, they're saying Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross. I'm sorry. Chris Columbus discovered America. Yeah, and thanks for the help, guys, in the chat. Now you totally distracted me. Where was I? Yeah, it's a simple song. It's done as good as it can. At first, when I heard the intro, I thought it was an alternate mix of the first song with this, the acoustic guitar intro. But it just panned out level.
All right. I appreciate it, Tom. Thank you. And let's go to Mr. Ken Scott, find out what he thought of that track. Ken, what do you think of song number 2?
Well, first of all, Chris Columbus is the guy who discovered America. Everybody knows that. I just wanted to point that out, okay?
Thank you.
Well, except for the Vikings before that and maybe others that we don't talk about in history. But let's not get into that. It's a music show.
Well, they don't count. I don't know why, but they don't count. And he was also a movie director that did Home Alone, I think, and some other movies as well. But anyway, I was thinking the same thing about Christopher Cross, and like you, I couldn't remember his name, so I'm glad that you had that moment so that I didn't have to have it.
Thank you.
I also felt elements of James Taylor in there, a lot of 70s James Taylor music, some of my favorites. The only problems I had with the vocals was with the part where he sings "When Can I See You Next." When he first sang that, I was convinced he was going to say "When Can I See You Naked." If he had sang that, really, this would have been the perfect song for me. There was one part we hit a really high note toward the middle or toward the end, maybe, that seemed a little bit strained. I mean, he managed it, but it felt like he was really pushing to get there. I love piano music. I got to be honest, not to give away anything, and I'm still trying to decide between the two, but when I heard the first song, I thought, nothing's going to beat this song, the first song, because I loved it so much. Right now, I'm really liking this song. This is I like the song a lot. I really love the vocals. And if they'll just change it from Next to Naked, I'm in.
All right, Ken. Well, you haven't changed a bit. I'm just... that's the way it goes. Let's find out what Ian thinks. Ian?
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it? Kind of, that's where I'm at with it. It's all very nice. I mean, I did find a few of the lyrics a touch. Maybe if this is biographical, you shouldn't be so honest. I don't know. It makes you sound a bit weird, some of them lyrics. It's good to be honest, but, sometimes not about everything. But, I mean, I liked the delivery. It wasn't the voice I was expecting when the intro started, but I liked the delivery. I liked the little stalls in the transitions from verse to verse or verse to chorus, where he just dropped that beat and then came back in with the word. I liked that. It was very nice. and I liked the vocal line. In fact, I think it's the simplicity of this track that makes it overall fine, if that makes sense. But it doesn't make it anything exceptional. The mix was good. The vocal delivery was good. The performances were good. Lyrics were good occasionally. It's got the basics of being something, but it just doesn't seem to go that extra bit for me, where it really starts to shine and show something new, something creative. I mean, it's a bit cheesy. Again, it's a little bit, I don't know, what's that cheesy American teenage drama thing?
Which one?
That they all Orange County or something? Is it the OC or something like that?
We're too old for that stuff.
No, or Disney again. We could go back to Disney. It's got that sort of teen cheesy ballad about a girl.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you very much. Now I want to take the time.
I could see this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Rich. I was just saying I could see this as a piece in a movie, first love type of thing, heartbroken, star-crossed lovers type of thing.
Yeah.
Arthur 3. Yeah, that's what the theme to Arthur 3. Because Christopher Cross did the theme to Arthur 1. I don't know who did the second one. But, yeah. I was thinking the same thing in a movie somewhere, somehow. Maybe we'll put it in my movie.
There you go. It'll be the voice that Ken hears in his head.
All right. Didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, Tom.
No, by all means.
All right, that track is from a group called Gala 23, Gala 23, and it's called Stay, of course. Thanks for sending that in to Music Scene Investigation. All right. Before we go to the third song, I want to remind everybody to catch a replay of Music Scene Investigation Thursday night at 8 p.m. over at Butterflies Radio. Yeah, they do replay the show over there for us, and we appreciate the fact that they do. You can also tune in on Tuesday nights to Twitter Tuesday Live with Mark Carroll and a special indie artist guest. And that's Tuesday, 8 p.m., Butterflies Radio. We also rebroadcast or simulcast that here live on Tuesdays as well on MSI Radio. So we hope you tune in for that. Gentlemen.
And don't forget, after this song, you've all got your work to do as well, because we want your witness statements for the show. That's
very true, and I would be remiss if I did not mention that. The button to the right-hand side of the video player is called Be a Witness, and if you're out on Justin TV, you're going to have to make your way to MusicSceneInvestigation.com to find and hit that button to get your voice heard when we reveal the results next week. All right, track number 3 is coming your way next, everyone. Here we go, gentlemen, and let's see what track number 3 is on today's MSI.
She wants, why can't my life be the same? In my dreams there is romance and passion, but instead he keeps playing these games. Forever going, spiraling circles round and round, and not up and down. He doesn't notice this beautiful girl on his arm is looking around to find something better, someone there to get her away from the world she is in, to a place of excitement and pure enticement and naughty fun cardinal sin. Why can't I be like Lola, la la la, Lola, la la la, Lola, la la la, Lola. She wants even the teddy and pretty G-string. Didn't work will make him break a sweat. You think he'd be ring-a-ding-ding. I'll find something better, someone there to get me away from the world I am in, to a place of excitement and pure enticement and naughty fun cardinal sin.
That's song number 3 on today's MSI. So let's go ahead and bring Ken Scott in, find out what he thought. Ken, what do you think of track number 3?
Well, I'm a big fan of Spanish guitar. When I heard this, I knew I was going to like it, and I did. I liked it a lot. It felt like something made for the Broadway stage. It would have been, I think, a good Broadway musical, a number in a good Broadway musical. The voice, of course, I thought was nothing wrong with it. I thought it was great. Again, the voice sounded like someone that you would find at any given musical on Broadway tonight. Tonight, right? Yeah. I thought once they got into the song, it was maybe a tad slow. I kept wanting the tempo to pick up just a little bit, but maybe that's just me. It just seemed like it was dragging just a little bit. But overall, I happen to be a fan of Broadway musicals. I do a lot of work for the Broadway, and over the years, as a result, I've become a big fan. So, yeah, I mean, wow, what a great selection of music today. I've loved everything I've heard. So, yeah, I thought it was great.
All right, well, we're glad you enjoyed them all, Ken. Ian,
Yeah.
what did you think of track 3?
You see, I didn't think Broadway. I thought like Desperado or Once Upon a Time in Mexico. You know, the Robert Rodriguez, I can't even say it, films. I loved that Spanish guitar playing. The actual tone of the guitar, the performance was just fantastic. Loved it. What can I say? I mean, listening to this, it put a smile on my face. I loved the little bit of tongue-in-cheek in the lyric, the little bit of naughtiness in the lyric, the vocal delivery. It all just sat so well together. I mean, the mix, I thought worked. I mean, I'm not an expert on mixing this sort of music, but I could hear everything, the mandolin, the castanets, the saxophone, all the bits and pieces that are sort of playing in there were there to be heard. And the use of the breaths as sort of little timers in the background over the first verse, and everything just worked for me. This clicked. It's not the sort of music I generally sit down and listen to, But I think someone should tell her that Lola was actually a bloke at the end of the Kinks song.
That's a good point, Ian. A very good point. I appreciate your thoughts on that. We'll make sure to get her a note. We'll make sure to get her a note and let her know. All right, Tommy, what did you think of track 3?
I liked it. It was a little off-center, a little tongue-in-cheek, as Ian said. The subject material was good. The vocal was very well performed, and the production was good. Now, I'll tell you what I don't like. The intro was way too long and way too sparse and too serious for such a light touch on this type of cabaret type of song. The bass was playing some interesting stuff. It didn't stick out enough in the mix. There was not enough top to bottom separation. The solo instruments need to be brought out more. The vocal, she's doing a great job, but it needs to be treated specially. This whole thing lacked depth and clarity in the mix to me. But despite that, I mean, the production with the castanets, the horn solo, it definitely, caught my attention, and it's just off kilt enough to keep me interested. And the background, her backing, and the lead into the background of that second lead line that was sort of tucked underneath. I mean, the vocal mix was probably the only thing that I really liked mix-wise. But still, it's the reason why I think Ken thought it should be a little faster is because in a song like this, you need to hear that percussion. You need that percussion, the castanets, the tambourine, the stick work. You need that to move it and to accentuate what the singer is saying. Click, click, whatever. It didn't have the authentic Spanish feel to it, and it just lacked in the mix. I think this needs just cut the intro in half, or just leave it out completely. Just have it enter with her breath as a production idea, which was very sexy. I think would endear this to me much more, and all it really needs is a better defined mix.
I'm actually going to jump in and say one more thing actually before we go over it, is that I would have loved to have heard this go absolutely mental at the end. Add a bit of time to it and sort of go all out, the sort of the Spanish style tap dancing and everything that they do. Get that sort of sound in there going, really ramp it up, almost whip it up into a frenzy and then finish it.
That's not a bad idea either.
All right. Okay, everyone. I appreciate your thoughts on that track as well. The track is named Why Can't I Be More Like Lola? And I know that lower third is a little hard to read, but there's a lot to get stuck in there. The artist's name, or the group's name, is Alexandra, Legouix, and the Sunflowers. I think they could have thought up a shorter name, but hey, it's not my problem. So anyway, we appreciate their sending that into Music Scene Investigation. Gentlemen, you have one more duty to do, and I know this is going to be a difficult one, as it always is, but you have the chat room to rely on, so you can look and see what they're saying. You need to decide on a song of the week, and I'll leave you to battle it out. Make your case.
Who goes first?
That's up to y'all.
Well, for me, it's between 1 and 3.
Well,
I'm sorry. For me, it's between 1, 2, and 3. I mean, that's the kind of week I'm having. No, I want to say on that third song, the introduction, the long introduction, I thought that would have played okay as a Broadway tune, because then you've got the people dancing on the stage to it, building up to whatever the scene is. So I think it would have worked better, on the stage, then the music might have made more sense versus something that plays on the radio. I just wanted to point that out. But I don't know.
I agree. I agree with that, because I was thinking film, and I thought, build up into a film, sure, sort of run into the club or whatever,
Same kind of thing, stage, film, yeah, just put something that's some drama attached to it, a musical of some kind. I got to say, I really didn't think anything was going to pull me away from number 1. And then number 2, I thought, wow. But I don't know. I really like that third one a lot. I'm thinking that's where I'm leaning right now, unless you guys can push me another way. What do you think?
Where you at, Tom?
You want to push?
I don't know if maybe I could try.
Well, I can't disagree with you. I mean, there's a lot of things right about song number 1, except it's not as interesting as song number 3. And even though I put down the mix and cited a lot of things wrong with it, what makes it so good is the fact that the elements are all there. And that's what I'm going to go by. I mean, the vocals in song number 1 were too affected. Matter of fact, the whole thing was a little over effective for me. This, the mix is maybe misguided or quick, or whatever. I still think, as a song, especially since we go by best song, it's a good song, but that intro is just way, way too long. But as far as interesting and listenable and production-wise, I'd have to go with number 3 also.
All right, so we got a definitive for number 3, a Ken wanting pushed from number 3, and an Ian who is...
I'm number 3, I think. I mean, it put a smile on my face, this show. It's different, it's interesting. I think, it can find a market in... as we said, show or film or something along that line. Whereas number 1, I think we all agree, was a little bit dated and needed a bit more work than this one would. So
okay,
definitely number 3.
Now I'm for song number 4. I'm for song number 4 now.
That's the next show.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right. So did they push you away from your choice, Ken, or you still hanging in there?
Well, they tried really hard to push me away, didn't they? No, I mean, yeah, at 3. I mean, I loved them all. I mean, it almost didn't seem fair. They were, to me, champion songs on any other week, all 3 of them, in my opinion. But yeah, the fact that they all landed together on this particular day, you just have to go with your gut. And I've got a big one. So I'm going to go with number 3.
All right. Well, there you have it. Song number 3, the longest combined artist name and song title, is our winner. Alexandra Legouix and the Sunflowers with Why Can't I Be Like Lola is our song of the week on this week's MSI. Ken, wonderful to have you with us. I really appreciate it and love it every time you come on, man.
My pleasure. It's always fun, especially the lead up to the show. And, the near heart attacks that lead up to the show. And then afterwards, the fun we have during the show is great, too. Thank you.
And if you want to find out more about Ken and what he's into and doing these days, you can go to thatvoiceguy.com. When's that movie coming out, Ken? Do you know?
Well, it's still undetermined. I've got a copy on DVD downstairs. But the actual final, it's TBD.
All right. Well, we will be looking for it, and hopefully we'll see it real soon.
Well, let me throw this in. I will say that you can see a trailer for the movie. The trailer is actually about 1.5 years, 2 years old. That's how long they've been making this movie. The movie's called Maladies. Just go to IMDb. You can find the trailer. It will not feature any of my parts because I was a late edition, of course, but you can get a sense of what the movie is going to be like when it does come out. And they're saying that it's going to be sometime this year, so we'll see.
All right. Sounds great. And want to thank everybody for being with us on this week's MSI. I'm going to ask Ian who our guest panelist is for next week. Ian?
I'm looking now because, do you know what? It's Lee Hegarty again. He's returning actually for a booked one rather than a standing one.
Absolutely. That's very cool. So we look forward to seeing both Lee and everyone out there next week on Music Scene Investigation. We'll play out with Why Can't I Be More Like Lola.
Before we do, we're going to answer Frozen's question.
Oh, please.
And the hit list is when?
Hit list is Wednesday, the 11th of July at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. GMT. We want to make sure you tune into MSI Radio for that, because that's the only place you're going to be able to find it. Well, unless, of course, you go to our partner Butterflies Radio. You'll be able to hear it there as well. Oh, and you can go to Indie Music Bus's front page. You'll be able to hear it there. So there are plenty of places to find it, but we'd like to see you here at MSI, MusicSceneInvestigation.com. That's, again, Wednesday, the 11th of July, 5:30 p.m. Eastern for Hit List. So
when you said the only place to see it, you lied.
Yeah, pretty much.
Liar.
That's the way I am, y'all. You should know that by now. All right,
You're
everybody.
a little bit like Mitt Romney.
No, not at all. Not at all. We'll tune in again next week, and we'll have some more great music on MSI. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lola gets whatever she wants. Why can't my life be the same? In my dreams there is romance and passion, but instead he keeps playing these games. Forever going, spiraling circles round and round, and not up and down. He doesn't notice this beautiful girl on his arm is looking around to find something better, someone there to get her away from the world she is in, to a place of excitement and pure enticement and naughty fun cardinal sin. Why can't I be like Lola, la la la, Lola, la la la, Lola, la la la, Lola. Lola gets whatever she wants, even the teddy and pretty G-string. Didn't work or make him break a sweat. You think he'd be ring-a-ding-ding. I'll find something better somewhere.